Alright, so today is November 28th. Hope everyone had a nice Thanksgiving. And I've been doing a little more work on the plumbing over here. I had things pulled apart here. I'm using the PEX A with these expansion rings. And I didn't have any problems until I got under here and I had this one here. I know the red one here, the hot water line. And it leaked. Not much, but it leaked. So I tried putting one of those press-on fittings, press to lock. They have an O-ring on the inside, a captured O-ring on the inside. And that didn't work worth a hoot. I tried one on the other side too, and that didn't work either. Because I was thinking about using those in places where I might have to take it apart or access it, get at it, the water heater on the other side there. And it didn't work. Both of them leaked. Now those were, I don't remember the brand they were, but they didn't work. So I pulled the floorboards up here, which isn't a big deal because you're going to need to do that to get at the battery here anyway, the start battery. But I pulled that and I managed to get, just short, and needs an inch or whatever, and I still got them in there all right. So yeah, that worked, but it was a bit of a problem. And then I had a screw up here hooking up one of the sinks, and I had to change, I think it was the drinking water, which would be the left of those two there. I screwed up something on that system there, and I had to replace a fitting there too. Oh, actually what it was, and I'll show you I'll show you up top there. And I put a gray water pump in too. This is a Whale, I think it's a Gupper 320. Yeah, Gupper 320. Probably a little, it's the bigger of the two pumps. They have like a 220 and a 320. I probably could have gotten by with a smaller one. I don't know what the flow rate on this one is, but anyway, I went with the slightly bigger one. Just, I don't know. It should drain that 40-gallon gray water tank pretty quickly. But I got my drinking water hooked up, and I put a filter on it. There is, of course, a filter in here. This is a whole house carbon block filter that any water that's getting pumped throughout the boat goes through this. I hooked up, I showed you I hooked up the back tank. Got that all plumbed in. And I can fill it. This is the fill circuit here. So I'm using one pipe for two purposes. So if I'm using the water maker and filling the tanks up here, I can pump the tank full back there from the forward tanks, which isn't a, isn't a big deal. Like I said, I don't know how much I'm going to use that aft tank anyway. We'll have to see. But under here, you can see my mess of plumbing. I've got a drinking filter there, and what happened was I had a leak on one of the pipe threads going into the filter. And of course, when you're using these PEX fittings, you can't turn them. You got to cut it to do it. So I did another cut here so I could get this fitting off, and I used tape again as opposed to the goop. Yeah, and I'm just having a lot better luck with tape than I am with the goop, so be it. Anyway, so that's all this thing serves is this faucet here. This is a drinking water faucet. That's all it functions for. And it filters, gives a 0.5 micron filter for that. So if we put clean water in, we've got 2 carbon block and then a 0.5 micron filter, which is supposed to be small to filter out any of the little nasty bugs that you could get. I'm not going to try to pronounce the names of them. But anyway, so here's hot and cold water coming up here, and then I got hot and cold water also not run yet, but it's gonna go up under there for that forward head. But this is all working, and I need to hook this up. Of course, this is the output. It'll suck like 9 or 10 feet or something like that, so I've only got, you know, 18, 20 inches of lift here, so it should suck out of here, and we'll have to do a through hole somewhere and hook that up to a through hole to pump it out. For now, until the boat's, you know, ready to go, I will probably, so I can use this plumbing in here, I'll probably just hook a garden hose or something up to that and pump it out outside or to a holding barrel or whatever. But yeah, everything here is working. Hot and cold. So yeah, well, I don't have the water heater plugged in, of course, yet, but yeah, that's all good. And then this thing, now this is a little emergency pump here. This is a hand pump. And this is simply in case you ever have complete failure of all your pumps. Your spares don't work, and you go through your spare and your main, and nothing works. You've got this one you can go to. And I was actually really surprised at how much water this thing pumps. It's pretty phenomenal. Yeah, you can fill a jug up real quick with that. But anyway, so that'll probably rarely get used. And it is not filtered. So that's the one bad thing there. I've got that run just on one of those nylon reinforced, I think it's a 1/2 inch, yeah, you can see it here, 1/2 inch diameter hose. And I need to do some more tidying up and strapping down to these, but that's the hose there. It's certified safe for potable water. But it goes back here into, just tees into, no, that's not it. That one goes to my pressure back here. It goes right here. And what this is, and that goes to that hand pump there, this is the suction side of all the tanks. So whichever tank you have open, it's going to be sucking out of the tank. And it does a phenomenal job of sucking it. In fact, I was sucking it all the way out of that aft tank, you know, through this one here. It was working just absolutely fine. Whatever air was in the line, it seemed like it didn't affect it at all. Yeah, I was really impressed. So this comes right out of the tanks before it goes into any filtration, because I don't think you want pressure going to those pumps. I read something in the Gupper's documentation where it said something about you could, I don't know, it sounded like it said you could run it off the pressure side, but I don't know. I don't think you'd want to do that, because this pump would slow things. It's got a check valve which should allow the water to flow the right direction, but I don't know. I just, yeah, figure better safe than sorry. If you need to, you can pump it out of there and boil it if you have to, or run it through another filter of some sort. But yeah, so that's working. And tonight or today, I went and picked up a bunch of hardwood for doing some more work in here. And I don't know, you can see I've got some more framing done around these for these cabinets. And what I did here, this oven sat out just a little bit too far. Came a little too far out from the, you know, this way. And I really wanted to get a couple screws in here. They had a couple of screw holes in here, right here, you know, to kind of keep it all held in there a little better. And I really wanted to use those, so I framed this with 5/4, which is 1.25 inches thick. And then I put a beveling edge or chamfering edge on here. So when my regular face framing comes up here, it'll be a nice little transition here to the conventional face framing. I did it at the bottom too, just to carry it on. And everything else is going to be just 3/4 inch face framing. I also bought some drawer slides. Oh, there they are down here. I got 4 drawer slides to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 drawers for the galley here. And I bought some 3/4 inch oak to do the trim here. What I'll do is I'll glue a piece on, well, that's too wide, of course, but I'll glue a piece on under there, and then the oak will go on this way, and it'll create a little bit of a fiddle here to keep things from falling off the countertop. And there'll be one in the back as well. But yeah, what else have I been doing? Not much, I guess. Yeah, and I don't know, you know, how to do these cabinets and stuff. I don't know. I'm just kind of winging it, I guess. Like these pieces here now, I put some glue on there and used my air nailer. Put some big brads in there to hold it in place until the glue is set. Yeah, I don't know. And that stuff's just going to get painted. And the drawer fronts and the cabinet doors that'll go underneath, those will be finished in probably oak and then just finished naturally. But what else have I been up to? I've been up to more. Oh, I've been putting all these bolts back in down here on the frames where I took them off for various reasons. At least on this side I was working on, and I ran out of flat washers, so I picked up more flat washers today too. Galvanized, hot dip galvanized flat washers, so I can continue on that. But yeah, it just seems to me I'm going to be better off getting a lot of this stuff done now when I can still have access to it from underneath. I need to cut some access hatches in here. Yeah, and I don't know if I want to try to do that now or if I should wait, and I don't know. I hate to totally, you know, cut up the floor here into so many hatches that it weakens it considerably, but I don't know how much I'm going to need to get to these. I mean, I suppose I could just wait until I have a problem and and then cut through it. Yeah, I got cats fighting. 2 cats and they can't get along. But you know, yeah, in this bay right here underneath me here, that's got nothing in it. So that's going to be a lot of storage area, as well as a bunch of this up here be storage. So I need to get some hatches cut in here. Oh, and speaking of the cabins, I ordered a mattress. It's one of just you know, like a memory foam mattress. It's extra large or extra long, a twin extra long, so it's 39 inches wide by 80 inches long. And I wanted to get one and see what I thought of it. And it's not going to fit up here. Well, it would, but it's going to get a little tight up here. So I'll have to taper the mattresses of the bunks up here just a little bit. Because like I said before, I want to get into back here. I want to put a little desk area right here so you can sit down and, yeah, cats. Knocking things over, crashing, yeah. So, I got a mattress ordered, and it will fit in the aft cabin, of course, and I'll try it out. I'll just put it on my bed or whatever and sleep on it and see what I think of it. It's only 6 inches thick. I mean, that's the thinnest you can get those, or that I can find anyway, short of buying just you know, a single layer of foam. You get too thick, and of course then you wind up taking up all your space with just mattress. And in a boat, you don't have space to spare. So I debated going the 8-inch, but I thought, yeah, 6-inch will be fine, I'm sure. And I suspect it will. But we'll see how that goes. That should be here next week. What else have I been up to? Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of everything I've been up to. On the spot, I just don't remember everything. But yeah, it's going all right. See, here's the other side over here, the water heater, and I wanted to use those push to connect couplers over here so I could take these off and get the water heater out. And the way it is now, you're going to have to cut these, which maybe isn't the worst thing in the world, because, oh, I forgot to mention, over here, you saw where I told you I cut once and there was a brass fitting in there. I don't know, can you see it from here? Just to the right of the big drain there, little brass fitting back there. That's a shark bite. Much to my amazement, the local lumberyard here in town had shark bite fittings. And so I bought one of those, and it worked perfectly, sealed up perfectly. So I bought some extra shark bite fittings too, so if I ever have to, in an emergency, cut a line and repair something, I can do it with those shark bite fittings. You know, like I said, if I have to replace the water heater, or the water heater develops a leak or something, and we could just cut the line and plug it. No big deal. But yeah, and see, here's the lines running back here. These are going to go to the, and see, I got these just plugged off. These are going to go back to the bathroom back here. And I just ran them to get them back here. And again, nothing is tied up or secured in place. Yeah. There's Quitty. She's the mean one. She's the mother of everybody out here. The boy wants those kittens get a few months old. It's sayonara. She has nothing to do with them. Otherwise, she's a nice cat. But so, and there's the line going to the tank back here. Oh, another thing I didn't mention. I did these main bulkheads. I put the screws in. See over here along the edge and then along the top. There's screws in there. Now, it was just glued in place, but I put screws all around the perimeter. Those are the same ones I used on the number 14 by 3-inch hot dip galvanized. Pretty strong screws. So, yeah, just in case you ever, you know, well, and like when you're getting your boat put in and taken out, whatnot, you know, the slings on the travel lift or the crane or whatever are going to be, you know, right on the bulkheads for the maximum load carrying capabilities. And so we want those as strong, and when you're at sea too, of course, you want them as strong as possible. Not that we think the glue joint would fail, but you never know. So I went ahead and put screw every 6 inches all the way around those. Okay, so that will be my update for the 28th of November, 2022.